I got married recently, and these were the pancakes that turned my fiance.
That is the most viral pancake recipe I've ever seen on the internet. This has 4 million likes and 2 million saves. That's probably the most of any pancake recipe ever. It looks super simple though. It's a cinnamon roll pancake and you gotta see the result. The result's gonna be crazy. And I'm gonna tell you exactly if it's worth it, if it tastes good, and if you should make it at home. So this pancake recipe, it consists of 3 things. You have your pancake batter, which seems like relatively normal. You have your cinnamon swirl in the middle, and then you have your icing, which again, normal pancake, if you've never had a pancake before, is just a pancake with butter and maple syrup usually. This doesn't use butter or maple syrup, so it's kind of different. We're gonna see if it tastes like a cinnamon roll. Stay tuned to find out. We're gonna start off by making the pancake batter. If you haven't watched this show before, this is should you try it. This is where I try viral recipes, so you don't have to. If you like content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's jump into the pancake batter.
All right, so we're starting off this batter by putting in an egg. This is just like a regular pancake batter, so it's really straightforward. Adding in some milk and then putting in some oil. You want to try and mix that as best you can before adding in our flour. It's 1.5 cups. And once you've added your flour, it's sugar and baking powder. That's it. Super simple. You should have all of that in your pantry. Then you want to mix it all up. Make sure to get all of the clumps out. You do not want a clumpy pancake batter. And then now we're making the brown cinnamon swirl part. You're adding sugar, butter, and cinnamon. I probably melted the butter too much. And then you're gonna add a tablespoon of that batter as well. Mix that up and you get this kind of dark, thick consistency. And you wanna scoop all that up, put that into a Ziploc bag or a piping bag if you have one. And we're gonna use that later on to squeeze on our swirls. You want to make sure to cut a small hole in the corner. A big hole means you're going to get just an absolute mess in the pancakes. I had to do this twice actually. And then finally we're making the icing. That's just powdered sugar and a little bit of milk. And the crazy thing about this is just a little tablespoon of milk is enough to dissolve all of this powdered sugar. And after that, that's it. Your icing is done and you're ready to move on to the next step.
All right, so all of our kind of main components are done. We got our batter, we got our cinnamon mixture here, we got our icing. The icing looks very interesting. This is the first time I've actually made icing. It's crazy how little milk you need to dissolve all of the powdered sugar. Yeah, so this looks pretty easy. I'm a bit nervous because this is where the cinnamon swirl happens. It's this step here. We're gonna put the batter on the pan first, and then we're gonna swirl our cinnamon mixture, and hopefully we can get a good result. This is what the entire thumbnail, the entire video is about. You're gonna wanna see the result. I don't know what the result is yet, but you're gonna wanna see it. You need to watch till the end. Let's start making these pancakes. Wish me luck, guys.
So the cooking part is probably the hardest. If you cook it in too much butter, it's gonna deep fry the bottom and it's just gonna turn out black. I decided to cook this on low heat. The recipe says medium heat, but it was just way too hot on my pan. I did low heat and I did no butter. I found that didn't like scorch the bottom too much. This is my 3rd attempt at doing these. I put on this swirl straight away and then I covered it to make sure that the top of the pancake steamed. You don't want to cook the top side directly on the pan. That's what it says in the video, and you don't want to ruin that swirl essentially. So now I'm done and we can start assembling our pancake. Now the finishing touch is the icing right on top, and it's done. How good does that look? That literally looks like a flattened cinnamon roll. Does this not look exactly like a flattened cinnamon roll? Now I wish they would have been thicker like in the video, but I didn't put in enough baking powder. Outside of the flatness though, this looks insane.
Whew. All right, so we've made the pancakes. It took me 3 different methods to try and perfect it. I think I need slightly more baking powder in my batter, So I recommend maybe double the dose. My pancakes were a little bit flat. Outside of that, it looks pretty similar and it smells great. And I'm ready to try this thing. So bon appetit. Let's see the verdicts. Damn. That's so good. It's literally a cinnamon roll pancake. It's not just for aesthetics. It tastes like a cinnamon roll. Guys, you gotta try this. 8.7. This is a high 8.7, like an 8.79, you know what I mean? This is really, really good. This is worth trying. You should try this. If you got 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the morning, you wanna make it a cheat day pancake, this is what I recommend. Most of this stuff I had in my pantry, like you're gonna have butter, you're gonna have sugar, you're gonna have flour. Icing sugar is the only thing you might not have. Outside of that, everything is readily available at home and this tastes delicious. Definitely not healthy. I feel like I'm getting diabetes. It's the sweetness of the cinnamon mix hits you, and the icing sugar hits you big time. But outside of that, this is really, really good. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Notifications on. I'm just kidding. You don't have to have notifications on. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below, what do you want to see me make next? This is Should You Try It. This is the show where I try recipes so you don't have to, and if they're any good, I'll tell you to make them. So this is cinnamon roll pancakes. This is on the list. See you guys next week.